let's just jump right into it. What are some of the things that impressed you and are the strengths for Jeremy Sochan coming into this season off of his rookie season?
Right off the bat, things that should carry over that he had at the beginning of his rookie year: defense, versatility, and playmaking. Those things should easily transition from game to game for him. Those are natural abilities for him as well as just physical gifts. And with another year with these teammates with a full off season under his belt, those things should only improve as chemistry improves and as repertoire improves. And with Wembanyama next to him, who obviously will help a lot for him, especially matchup wise. But things that kind of improved for him last year that I could also think that should be strengths this season: finishing around the rim, footwork, possibly an in-between game as well. Like, his offense really, it blossomed as the season progressed, and we started seeing glimpses where, like, maybe his comparison to Kawhi Leonard isn't that far-fetched, Jude, because he had
Right.
moments of posting up at the elbow as well as on the block, showing some up and under, some turnarounds, some fadeaways that I don't think either of us saw from him, at least in his rookie season, coming out of Baylor. So that's something that I would expect from him this season as a sophomore, to have a more pronounced role in the offense. And then you mentioned this in the KJ video, so I won't forget it this time: strength in transition. He is a lob threat. If he can get out and run, hopefully with a little bit better of a ball handle, we'll see a lot of highlights from him in transition,
Yeah.
because he's really athletic as well, something that's underrated for him because he doesn't walk or run that athletic, but he clearly is very athletic. He's springy. So those are definitely his strengths going into this season.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of overlap here, but I just want to touch when you talk about his bounce, man.
Yeah.
Just think about the Sabonis dunk. You know, like, as
Crazy.
much as it was kind of like a little bit like, people could say it's technically not a dunk. To me, that's still a poster.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're Spurs fans, but I think even most people who aren't Spurs fans can go look at that play and be like, even if you don't want to call that a dunk, it's a poster, at least. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yes.
I know that's just one play, but still, to do that to a guy like Sabonis at 19 years old is like, it just encapsulates, the excitement that a lot of Spurs fans have about Jeremy Sochan. So obviously, defense and versatility were the first two things I wrote down too, man. We saw what he did last year coming in, regardless of all of the offensive growth and the struggles therein that happened last season. Defense was there from the jump, and versatility on defense and switchability on defense was there from the jump. And that's why at the beginning of this video, I mentioned how impressive it was, despite the circumstances, to be a starter in San Antonio. I guarantee you the reason is because of that. I mean, guarantee it. Probably Pop was like, all right, let's just be objective. Who's the best defensive four we have? And it was Sochan. As much as we love our boy KBD, good luck to him in Phoenix. And I don't know who else is going to play the four. Our boy Barlow, potentially. Dougie McBuckets might play there a little bit. By far, right? When it comes to that, it's not even a question. And that just, I mean, that's just so Spurs. That's why it showed us why we picked him at number 9. But I don't want to go too into my overall thoughts here. Getting back to just some of his strengths this season. The other two things, other than versatility, offensively as well, as you mentioned with his playmaking ability that we saw, with that just going on both sides of the ball, it's his offensive potential as well. And that's when you talked about all of the different things that we saw throughout the season, him add to his game, whether that was in the post, whether that was a little mid-range jumper here and there after we saw the improvement in the shooting, which is another thing that you can harp on. The free throw shooting as well. The three-point shooting increase, although still, not anywhere where we want it to be, still that coincided with his improvements as a free throw shooter. So with how much he improved in so many different areas, dude, it's hard to put a ceiling on him right now, on both ends of the floor. So that's why I wrote down offensive potential for that one, because he just showed improvement at so many little different areas, which was, that was something we didn't expect, like you mentioned. And then the last thing, it's just as Pop says, I just wrote down the nasty in quotes, because we know that Jeremy he wants all that smoke.
Yes, he does.
That way.
He's the Twitter king. I love the way he goes at guys.
He is.
The hairdos, everything about him, his personality, that's a huge strength. I'm glad you mentioned that. And I will say this is another strength, just because it's my thing on this channel, Jude. Fighting.
There you go. Right.
I love it when guys fight. And I love when guys get chippy. And he doesn't get bullied. He will not let veterans bully him. So I'm hoping for at least 5 fights this season from Jeremy Sochan.
I love how I'm a UFC fan, but I feel like Ethan, he doesn't want the UFC. He just wants that during a basketball game.
I like fighting when it's not supposed to happen.
There you go. I love it, bro.
It's strictly like, you made me mad.
Oh,
I'm coming after you. I love that. Or you bumped my teammate, so I'm going to come after. I love that stuff, bro. I watch videos of that all day.
This is why we do this show together, Ethan.